I'm just thinking about it. Today, well, a couple of days ago, was the beginning of the Korean War. And actually, it took me, about 32 years before I wrote about my experience there as a 17-year-old. Yeah, so, like on my 18th birthday, I had been there on the front for 4 months and I had 5 more to go. I guess I was trying to forget it, just like most of us soldiers. Maybe the Creator spared me to do what I'm doing now, to tell my story. Although, through the arts, of course, the visual arts, and many other ventures I took, it probably was, at least I probably was, dealing with post-traumatic stress. But at that time, back in those days, it wasn't known as post-traumatic stress. At that time, it was battle fatigue, shell shock, really. That was it. Yeah, shell shock. It was post-traumatic post-traumatic syndrome. But now they dressed it up a little to make it apply, make it more acceptable. So, anyway, this was my therapy. Was traveling and getting outside of the country, traveling outside, living in another country, which was, Africa in my case, Ghana, which was really a reborn, time it was a rebirth, a reborn of life for me. I was born again. I put it like that. I was one of the fortunate ones to be born again, to I'd say we're still having our wars. I guess war is probably just the nature of mankind, of humankind. That's what we always did, was make war. As I mumbled these words of gratitude for my life, and which I took for granted, really, most of it, at least until up to the time I, traveled outside the country, and, got the chance to see how other people's live, and, their likes and dislikes, and which is about the same as everyone, every human, and probably even the animal kingdom. I hope I'm talking loud enough to be heard, but I'm just giving you a tour of my little studio here. Since on my 89th year here, well, only 22 years here at this particular location. And as you see, I just about turned it into it's a real studio workshop now. I got my paintings here, I got my photographs, and books, and I never thought I'd be into books. I'll get into books. I never thought I'd even write a book, And I guess this is the right time, anytime it's the right time, of course, especially to us Afro-Americans to tell our story, because there's little significance that we may put on it. It's good, the more we do, because we all should we all have a story, and we should, tell our stories in any means necessary. That's what Brother Malcolm taught us years ago. Hey, yes, over here. Because that's part of our history, and the history that would not be known by our children, grandchildren, great future generation. Because, they only thing they have to go by to information that is that they would have of their past would be information that someone else, wrote. Uh, the way they saw us as human beings. So anyway, I'll just sign off here and get back to my projects here, which is give you a close-up of these two here. Books is one of the most difficult things. I've noticed that since I decided to write. It's one of the most difficult items for people to accept, to read, other than, job related. I'm also discovering that most Americans, I guess Americans, that's what I can say for sure, is not very interested in their history. And once you start doing, research and thinking about it even, you realize that most of our history is not nice. We have, as Americans, we have did a lot of things that couldn't justify anyone going to heaven or paradise. I want to pick on no one, because even if we haven't done it ourselves or participated in some of the bad things that have happened worldwide, we benefited. We all benefited from it. It's just like, being without a job, and the only ones that earning money, bringing money in is your teenage children. They're paying the rent and everything. And you never ask, honey, baby, where'd you get that money? You don't ask. So the fact that our country, not only our country, but most great nations, or once great nations, they benefited off the misery of others after they brought about their misery, then they write the history books too to justify, the miseries that they have, burdened other countries and other peoples with. Like it's your fault that you didn't have enough weapons to defend yourself. Whatever. My religion is my God is more powerful than yours. That was the prayer. Because I recall, as a young soldier, hey, we were all offered the opportunity to, to pray before each battle. I think they give us about 10 or 15 minutes, and we had chaplains that would represent different religious organizations. What are you, Muslim or Christian or Baptist? It didn't matter. They'll come up and for that sole purpose of, offering you a chance to battle, a chance to pray. And then you go out and you slaughter each other, with everything you have. So anyway, that's I guess that's the nature of, well, I don't guess, I know it's the nature of human being. I think it will end soon. It will end, not soon, but it will eventually end because if people won't have each other to fight. You wouldn't be able to. You can't go to war against someone that has as much armory, heavy weapons than you do, because that would be the end of all wars. You know, it's like what we see happening now. Well, that's not a war. Well, it's a war, but it's something like putting a pit bull in a ring with a grizzly bear. And the grizzly bear got control of everything. The land, the heavy artillery, missiles, and nuclear weapons. So the surrounding countries that supported the fight of the war in the beginning, their hands are tied because they know if they intervene in, with what is needed and what everybody knows would be needed, well, it wouldn't. That would be the end of them. It would be the end of life on Earth, really. And the first one would probably be the one that's sandwiched in between, which is Europe. And so that's war, and those are things that we don't like to talk about because they're unpleasant. But we appreciate the jobs now and the opportunities that's made federal. So I guess they just consider it as a sacrifice that someone else have to make, like the innocent that's caught in between, the innocent victims, civilians and old men and women and children, they can't, they don't even know where to go. Where are they going to go? So they get stuck in their homes, houses, in some cave, a tunnel, So the wars is one of the most vicious and horrible things that can happen to a human being, period. Okay, enough of that, Curtis. Get to work. Start painting. You said you was going to work on this painting here, which is, it's a layout for our former president, Barack Obama, the first black president of the United States of America. Anyway, it actually signaled a change in our policies, political policies too, because we see he's a young man, or I consider it to me. So it just seems like the younger generation is about making a change in the life that I include myself, because I was right out there too, gun ho. As a 17-year-old, hey, I was out there doing it. I felt disappointed, near the end, after I was discharged and I took my uniform off. I felt very disappointed that I wasn't considered as an American, really, But then I won't get into that. You have to read my books for that, to get that knowledge. But anyway, I see the younger generation is beginning to voice their opinion and make their position known. And the main reason for that is now we have, or they have, well, we all have WWW, World Wide Web and internet communication and and all that, which is good because people now, younger people, they can get the other side opinion of things. You know, they can communicate with people all over the world, with their peers, in Asia, Africa, and that's what they're doing, which is, you know, it's a good thing. I guess as a senior, like I said before, you know, but I guess I just about said as much as I want to say right now. Anything else you would like to know about me and old soldiers and those who was with me? I didn't fight that wars by myself. You know, I didn't march beside Jesse Jackson and all the others, liberators, the freedom fighters, and NAACP by myself. That was millions others. And it covered the gamut. It was like whites and blacks and red and yellow people. You know, they are the one that brought about the freedom that we are now enjoying and the benefits too. So the changes will have to be left up to you guys out there, the younger generation. Old people say they're not going to watch this. They're not going to listen to me because they're tired. You know, for the most part, they're tired. You know, their voices are changing. They got all those illness, you know, that that you know the old people deal with, arthritis, and you know all those different things. So bye bye, and check me out and check out my painting because you'll notice that most of them, all of them, really is stories. It's stories that are reminiscing, stories about me being a young man and traveling the world and, you know, living amongst other people and, you know, and enjoying life. And it all wasn't easy. You know, life is never easy. So, but for the most part, it's what you make of it. So now it's up to you guys to decide what you want to make of yours, you know, and your children, you know, what you want to leave them. Okay? All right. Take care. Peace and love. Love you all. I'm out.